Uganda hopes to limit rising debt by focusing on concessional borrowing and curbing commercial loans next fiscal year, its finance minister said on Thursday after a credit rating downgrade last month. The country's public debt has been mounting as the government of President Yoweri Museveni splurges on big infrastructural projects, prompting warnings from its central bank. In May, Moody's lowered Uganda's sovereign rating, citing increasingly constrained financing options. Finance Minister said in a budget speech that total public debt stood at $24.7 billion at the end of last year and was seen rising to $25.7 billion by the end of this month. Debt service costs, excluding domestic debt reductions, were projected to swallow 40.3% of the domestic revenue in the fiscal year that starts in July, up from 33.4% in the current year. So it means that between last year and this year, the Ugandan debt has risen almost 6 point something percent. So, and you can see that we are just in June already. Yes, you can imagine what it will look like by the end of the year. So, I'm really curious to see how Uganda is planning to achieve this, because if they achieve it, it will serve as a lesson for other African countries, leaders to learn from it, to stop all this borrowing, because most of these people that are in power today, give them 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, some of them will not be there to see what they are borrowing from all these banks, or be it World Bank, be it IMF, or private banks or private individuals. The damages, the long-time damages is going to be doing to their country, that is going to keep their country's economy stagnant, keep their currency stagnant. It will frustrate the future of the coming generation, and it might even affect the future of the generations of the one to come after them, because the monies they are borrowing today, if they are even implementing and checking the modus in which they are supposed to pay this money back before taking this money, is some of them, they don't even go through the details properly to understand everything that is entailed in these details, and then they take the money because they are so desperate for the money, because some of them are even this borrowing, they don't even have any plans of using the money to do anything to elevate their country, to elevate the poor ones, their people at large. So they are just focused on themselves. It is high time African countries should sit on a round table, Africa as a continent, and start planning on how to generate money within Africa, because it is only loans that are coming from within Africa that is real loan. Any loan or borrowing that is coming outside from the shores of Africa, this is just a new way of putting invisible chains in the hands of these leaders and the countries and their people at large. Yes, so it is high time for once, let African leaders have conscience. Yes, they keep borrowing and borrowing, and in most cases you see that the money they are borrowing, they are not even using it for the so-called thing they are borrowing it for. They will borrow from front door and from back door. They will loot the money back to the countries of the so-called people they borrowed the money from, and then mortgage the future of the economy of their country, the future of their currency, the future of their people, even up to 5 generations sometimes. Yes. The money some of these African countries are still restructuring up to today to pay back. Some of them, if you go and check, these loans has been more than 20, 30 years. Some of them 40 years. Yes. So it is high time African leaders should start thinking far beyond the box. Yes, because this borrowing or money that you people are borrowing is a new way of putting chains in your hand and in the hands of your country through pen and paper. Yes, and you people have to put a stop to this. The world is evolving. Africa needs to evolve. Our people need to evolve. Our continent needs to evolve. Yes, because we are the most blessed continent in the world. Yet, the so-called pre-colonial master or former colonial master, they still want us to remain in the situation we have been since 1960s, 1950s, 1940s.